So we're going to talk about our first supercar experience. This is your first time in a supercar?
As a passenger.
As a passenger. Okay.
Not driving.
Not driving. Okay.
I remember the first time I was, my first supercar experience. I remember before I even got in the car, I remember when the owner started the car, I was like, dang, it sounded so beautiful. Oh my God. Just that engine, that is just, it was a nice summer day too. Oh my God.
Idyllic.
Wow, I'm sorry. It's taking me back, but yeah. So like it was the owner of the vehicle was just like it's a friend, close relative of mine. And previously before I was taken on the drive, they took my other friend on the drive first. So when it was my turn, the car is really fully warmed up to go.
You heard about it too.
Yeah, I did hear about it. Yeah.
You heard about this car before you heard about what the passenger experience was like before you were a passenger?
He's like, I'll tell you after.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and then that's it's a Porsche 991 GT3.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
What color?
I think it's silver. I believe it was silver. Yeah, it's a silver.
That owner, if they're watching, they're gonna just spin, shouting the color's name at the screen.
I don't know the official.
Whatever that is, they're gonna be
name.
screaming. You know.
But
Gray.
one nice thing about that car, I like the suspension. For example, like we had to go over like some gravel, so he lifted the suspension to go over it. But once we got on the road, and then once we got on the road, he lowered it back down. But no,
That's not something every car does.
No, he told me, I'm like, your car does that? I'm just like, what? I wish.
If I had that, I would tell everyone too.
Yeah,
I would tell my wife every time we got in.
Actually, I gotta lift the suspension to get past, to get out of the driveway.
I would need that to get out of it. Where is she? I'll have to tell her. It's really a solution, practical solution.
When we're on the road, I had my video propped up right up on the dash. The guy popped it up right here. He's like, all right, put it right here. Wow, that car it's really fast. The handling is just superior. The handling is freaking amazing. I remember because like we were driving on some like windy roads, and at one point he just goes like, I'm just like, and the car was just perfectly fine. If I did that my Camry, bro, I'd be in the ditch. I'd be on the side of the road. I'm just like, there's no way your car is doing like that, and I felt perfectly fine. It's scary fast. Oh my God! And like when it revs too, it just sounds. It's such a beautiful sound.
It sounds different, you know. I think that's a 3.8.
Yeah, it's a 3.8.
3.8, and it's so it revved all the way up to 9. I think you made it all the way up to redline. I want to commend you, by the way. I didn't make it to redline. I was screaming along before.
Well, you know
my story anyway. Yeah. I screamed a long time before that number on mine. I didn't make it to 8,000 at all, so I was scared to death. It has venting like it's a turbo. It has intakes, before the hips.
Yes.
We were both wrong about this. It's the 991 GT3 RS that has a turbo-like venting. So I looked at the pictures, and we were both wrong. My bad. And it has that little venting on the nose right before the Porsche logo on the hood. That vacates air. Yeah, exactly. So the front of this car, they really modeled it. This is a 991. They really modeled this on the 997. But what was that like? You get out of the car. What was it like? What was the experience you get out of the car?
First of all, it's hard to get out of that car. It's mad. It's low. But it was just. I was just literally just shocked. I was speechless because I'm just like, wow. I was just in this car. I'm not sure if I will ever be in this car ever again. So it's a rare experience. Like this is not going to be a daily experience for me. It's just a very unique experience.
Seem happy as shit in those pictures. You looked so fucking happy. I've never seen anybody so happy in my life.
Yeah, because like I feel like if I wasn't friends with you, like you really taught me a lot about Porsche and the brand and the history.
You know what? Anyone appreciate it. Yeah, they know that it's a responsibility. If you're a Porsche fanatic, you never let any friendship go by without really trying to force Porsche on them with learning, education, numbers, whatever. Because you were into cars a lot.
I was, but
You would always name what cars are when I would see you, and cars would pass by. You would be, and you're blind. No offense, like you can't see great at times.
Wait, without my glasses?
No, without your glasses. I mean, yeah, you need them. So when we run, you're not necessarily wearing your glasses, and you're out here by headlights, 250 feet away in the dark, saying Lexus ISF Sport, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Meanwhile, one day you ran straight into a fucking garbage can. Right into a fucking garbage can. One of those big Providence City garbage cans.
Yep. Oof. I was like, what the hell is that?
But headlights, tail light, car goes by. Sometimes you'll be like, okay. As they say, there's no substitute. So, but that goes for anything you like, because Lexus rubbed off on me a little bit. I mean, now I like certain cars I didn't like before. I'm like, why do I like this wing, this mirror? I like them now, and I'm like, I've tried to wrap those tail lights. Only a computer could make those things. There's no way a human. It's impossible. I want to meet the human beings that can wrap and tint a 2019 Camry's taillights cleanly. I want to meet that individual and shake their hand. I admire that individual.
Yeah.
Whoa, that was difficult. I regretted my whole life when that came up. Regretted my whole life.
Oh, yeah.
That was tough, bro. Okay, so my first supercar experience was like 43 years in the making. And the same model car that was your Supercar First. So, but it was a different generation, the 991 GT3.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was incredible seeing your video. I've never seen one of those in person. I know they're around, I could go to car shows, but I never have the luxury to go and do that necessarily when they're happening and stuff. So it's really hard for me to just go and see them.
Yeah. So
I don't necessarily see these cars very often. So when I saw you with one, or heard you were with one, I did freak out. And I said, well, what year is it? What's the, is it a touring? I lost my mind, trying to figure out everything I could about it. You were in it. I had tears in my eyes for that video because I had never had that experience. I've still never to this day been redlined, in a 911 or a GT3, but you had done it. And I had tears in my eyes. I was so happy for you. It was an experience that I waited 43 years to get, before I was ever in a 911, actually, despite my longtime Porsche fanaticism. But I love the 911, and yet I've sat in them. I've never ridden in one, and as well, it was a 992. Shout out to my boy who will remain nameless. But that was my first experience, was the 992 GT3 in Guards Red, and then this car has silver wheels, central locking wheels like yours. They were like a brighter silver, and the 992s have the arrow on the wing, right? That does stuff during braking. It has that front end that you love. There's newer looks to it on the 992s. There's things to love more so maybe on the 991, right? That car's really beloved. Some of those GT were very, very beloved for their reasons,
How's the transmission compared?
It was
the same one, the PDK?
This one was a PDK that I was in. One day, somebody really dear to me was in the hospital. It was like going through a crisis. It was a really dark day for me personally. And I was driving, and I was going to look for something for my house. And I was in a really dark mental mood space. And I saw a 911, older 911, and it had just beautiful colored blue and beautiful wheels, like chrome, wheels, and in part anyway. And
what color was it?
It was like a blue, the car.
Okay.
And it was beautiful. And cynically, I said, of course, I was like, I gotta pull over and take a picture of that. It was really clean and beautiful. It was a beautiful day, It was like October, but felt like August or something. I can't pull over and take a picture of another Porsche. I was just down on myself. And I ignored it, and I went to go look for this thing for my house. I didn't find it at the store, and I was returning to it on the way back. Was a Guards Red 992 GT3 sitting there. Look at me now. I've never seen any 992. I saw one once on the road. I was honking at this person. They don't care. They didn't care about me in my life. I was like, you're a 992. Did not care. Anyway, I've never seen one. I've never seen a GT3 in person. So now I pull over. I have to this place, and I pull in, and I'm taking pictures of it. I'm laying down on the ground. I'm taking pictures of the old one at first, you know. Then I'm playing it down. I'm like, oh yeah, this blue one is so pretty, this classic, because that's the one I would get if I had any money on earth. And the guard's red thing is calling me, you know. It's like, hey, you know, what's up? Look at these wheels. Those wheels are huge in that car. Yeah. You know, you were near them. I mean, they're huge, and they're super wide. Those tires, you know. So it's these. Damn. So I go over to this 992 GT3 and guards red and the blue backdrop of this October sky, and the artist in me came alive. I laid down on the ground in this parking lot and I started taking picture after picture of this car, you know, trying to get the contrast of the paint. The paint looked alive, like a blot, this beautiful red blot, and just very striking. And that guy came out to his car and didn't say hello or anything. I'm waving like I felt like I was gonna get kicked off this property, you know what I mean? Take pictures of somebody's car. I'm from New York. I expected somebody to say, hey, fuck you, you know, just get the fuck away from my car. I was ready, you know. This guy was like, let me move it. Let me move it out. You can take better pictures, you know. And I was like, hi, guess you're the owner. Like, whatever. And he goes, I'm taking all these pictures. He goes, you know what? Take a video. And I'm like, yeah? He goes, yeah. Let's run. Let get in the back. You want to hear this? I'm going back. I'm going to thank him for starting and taking pictures. He says, hop in.
Am I not able to open? Oh, there we go. All right, I'm not very bright. All right, there's a fire extinguisher. Okay.
But anyway, I was in the car and I did not make it. I made it to 6,000 RPM on that car and I screamed. It's just so much of a visceral experience that going forward was enough. Like, I couldn't believe I was sticking to the back of the seat and everything
just moves so quickly.
It just like time warped. It like fast forwarded through the landscape somehow, and it was really unnerving. That my first experience anyway. Yeah. And that's what it was like. But my shout out to my boy, you know, my new friend and a good friend, but that was just a crazy, all of that was a crazy experience, but that was my first supercar experience, and I waited 43 years in the making for that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.